Hello, my name is Addison Davis. I'm the Superintendent of Schools in Clay County, and welcome to Community Connection. This month, our focus will be on family engagement. As you know, the state of Florida has identified November as a month that we will focus on engaging our parents, our caregivers, and our community. And today, I had the opportunity to have two great practitioners here with us today to talk about how families can be more actively engaged in the educational process within Clay County. Today, I have Principal from Flemingine Elementary School, Jennifer Collins, and also Erica Gilbert, works with our district as a school district specialist. So welcome and thank you for being here.
Thank you.
From a school district perspective, we aspire to make certain that we open our doors and gain access not only to learners, but to every individual within our community, from business partners, from parents to caregivers, and also faith-based partners. In order to do that from a district perspective, it is my job to make certain that I develop a shared responsibility to ensure that we are doing our part from the educational perspective to link and engage every one of our stakeholders, but at the same time make certain that we have 360 accountability and allow our stakeholders to have a shared responsibility to be involved in the educational process. We know that family engagement is much more than working with our schools. Family engagement is worked through multiple facets of our community. We want to make certain that you are involved not only in the classroom, but you're involved with your child's extracurricular activity, your child's community engagement, your faith-based work, and also be involved in any activities that your child is trying to work towards with short-term and long-term goals involved with the educational process. As we look at family engagement, we know that as a student transitions through their years in Clay County District Schools, their maturity transitions as well. So in order for us to begin to help you mature your transitions with your child, we have great supports that our staff will talk about in order so you can continue to be actively engaged and learning alongside your child to help them and coach them make the right decisions inside and outside of the classroom. So in Clay County, we want to make certain that we have a healthy feedback loop in the sense that as we adopt policies, procedures, in our way of work, that we implement those policies and procedures, but we have an open forum for our parents and our constituents to review, provide feedback so that we can refine our efforts to make sure that we have the greatest educational experience for our learners. As we get into family engagement, I want to look at the lens of these two practitioners to look at what we believe that family engagement looks like. As principal, Ms. Collins, I know you deal with a lot of interacting with families every single day in cohorts. So what would you say from the lens of a principal, what does family engagement look like from your perspective?
Sure. I think that family engagement not only looks like what you said, just involvement in school, maybe through working in the classroom, working with the teacher, volunteering, serving on the SAC committee or the PFA, but also that family involvement and engagement at home. There's a myriad of ways to be engaged with your child at home through homework, through checking the focus portal. I know sometimes we say as working parents, well, we can't be at the school, but there's still opportunities for parents to be engaged and involved at home through a variety of ways.
Yeah, I agree. So many avenues and opportunities for our parents to play an active role and be an active participant within their child's education. So, we hope that they continue to be a part. I know that as a school district, sometimes we get to a part where we only engage our parents when we see undesired behaviors, or we want to talk about some of the academics that may not be as strong as we expect them to be. And we have to do a better job as educators to really link into our family members so that they can really understand highlights, understand accomplishments, so that we can continue to move collectively and develop the whole child, but really help them see a broader spectrum from the educational side. From Ms. Gilbert, you have great opportunity to impact so many schools through your specialists and through your work within Clay County. What do you believe that the parent's role is as it relates to family engagement?
Parents have a huge part of a child's life, of course, and we look to the schools a lot for help and assistance, but I think parents, they are the primary support and models for their children. And for parents in a school, when they push attendance and come to school every day, when they are positive about school, and when they are involved, and you talked about that and being involved does not mean coming to the school every day and volunteering 2 hours a week, but just calling the teachers, saying, how was your day? what's going on in school with you. That's involvement too, and that's
Sure.
very important.
Sure. I agree with both of you. I mean, it really takes the entire community for us to really move forward. So, the involvement from understand events, understand initiatives, projects, academics within our schools, extracurricular activities. It really takes a collective approach for us to move forward. As we talk about, family engagement from a perspective of what we can do at the home site, and this is open to both of you, is there certain things or steps that parents can take in order to better assist their child at home to be involved in that learning process to help them to grow intellectually and also socially, emotionally as well?
Sure. I think one of the things is having the open communication with the teacher. I think what you said before, oftentimes we call home only to maybe address areas of concern, but really establishing that open line of communication with the teacher. We're so fortunate now that many teachers are on Google Classroom, that they have access to email and websites and social media that they communicate with parents. So establishing that from the beginning, and then using the tools like Focus that we have available to parents to go in, to check assignments. I know the teachers at my school do a fabulous job with making notes and comments and communicating through that means as well. So those are some of the things that parents can use at home.
Sure.
I think just when parents listen, just listening to their children and asking questions. And sometimes they look like they don't want to talk to you. But listen and ask the questions, because eventually they warm up and they get used to it. And then listen to what they have to say, and then continue to push reading. And if parents read, they see you reading, and you asking them like what kind of books they're reading. Then it just kind of reinforces the learning at school, and then always be encouraging. Encouraging them, even when they say, "Oh, this math is too hard," or "this," just encouraging. You can do it. And keep putting that positive spin on school.
Yeah, I agree with both, and a lot of activities that can take place. I think one thing I always talk about when I go in the community is about being able to reclaim the dinner table. So oftentimes, and I speak to it, that we get so busy in our profession, we get so busy with activities, with driving the kids around, or attending activities, that we don't really get a chance to sit down at the dinner table and really have a conversation about what's actually happening in our children's life. So, I say it all the time. Many times we go to the Chick-fil-A, we wait in the 25-minute line for that number 2 because it's so great, or number 1, whatever the chicken sandwich is. But when we get back home, we allow our students and our children to go back and sit in front of a TV, and we go off to do other activities. We've got to come back. We'll reclaim that dinner table where they're actually involved and engaged in conversations. And the conversations can be easily look like, what academically are you learning today? How did it connect to yesterday's learning? What will you be learning? What barriers did you experience? How can I help you with those barriers? What's going on with any activities or clubs? And, we have to get deeper to better understand and support our learners. And we talk about clubs and we talk about extracurricular activities. For parents that are watching today, please make certain, one thing I want to say is that we want you to truly be engaged in your learners' process within school, because whatever school they will attend, elementary, junior high school, or high school, it will always be a part of who they are in their life. And we want you to know that as that's a part of their life, we want to be able to tell their story. So please encourage your students to be engaged in some type of club, some type of athletics, some type of activity where they can really grow pride and ownership within their schools, and that will lead to other opportunities and avenues for them to be successful with inside and outside of our classrooms, allow them to compete. Okay, so we talk about lots of benefits for parents to be engaged in the learning process and become engaged in Clay County. What are some benefits that parents can see or live as they continue to darken our doors and we extend our hands to them?
Well, they can see in their children that when they can see that their parents are advocating for them, and then they become stronger advocates for themselves, and that's very good. And when parents know what's going on, it improves achievement too, I feel, because they have a better idea of what's going on at the school.
Yeah. So anything from you, anything you may see that could be beneficial?
Sure. I think when kids see their parents at school and when kids see their parents interested, then kids take more of an interest in what they're learning and what they're doing. So I think just that opportunity, like you said, to share with their parents and to see them present, whether, again, it be during the school day or at an after-school event, or just sitting down and helping them with their homework, or getting on iReady with them at night, anything that can be done. the students just see that interest, and so their interest in school grows.
Yep, absolutely. So overall, that engagement is really working toward the learner and helping them become a better them, and, we can work alongside them and help our constituents. Not only we talked about earlier developing the whole child, but work to develop the whole family, so it's an inclusive model. As superintendent of schools, we often look at and talk about high-impact strategies that will help us be successful. And one thing that I think that we should do as a school district, we have to really be more collaborative, have a cultural, competent, focused learning environment every single day. And as superintendent, we aspire to strive forward to build the greatest positive relationships that builds confidence with our parents. And some of the ways we can do that through education is to make sure we have open forums, open events, open access to our campuses with the right clearances, and be able to let them come and see that, that they can let their hair down and know that we really truly care about their kids, and we'll work every single day to help them be successful. In addition, we want to make certain that we strive to build an environment that is data inclusive, in the sense as a leader and a specialist. We want to make certain as teachers that we share information as much as we can about the learner with our parents, because we know our parents are their first educators, and they'll be able to gain access to their kids so they can see the individualized plans that we are building and creating in order to help them be successful. And then we want to make sure we always model best practices for our parents, so that when they come and we communicate them and have open arms and show them the energy and the focus that we have, and to show them the professionalism that we have, we want them to carry that same mentality when they go back to their learners, and extend that at the dinner table as well. And then also we want to listen and learn to our families, and we want to know what when families come into our schools, we want to know what their interest levels are. We want to know what challenges they have, so that we can do a better job creating pathways and steps to meet their interests, but also be able to remove barriers so they can be successful. And finally, we want to make certain that everything we do in Clay County, that we align our family engagement goals and activities to our school improvement goals and the district goals as well. So lots to do to make certain that we have high impact strategies within our school district. And we talk about how communication is probably the foundation of everything we do linked to family engagement, so they understand our actual needs and understand how to be involved. But sometimes communication doesn't go the way that we think it should go. And whether there's a miscommunication from the district to the schools, from the schools to our teachers, from our teachers to our students, to our students, to our parents, somewhere along the line, the story or the initiative evolves and morphs into something that may not be desirable, or it's inaccurate. So we talk about from a district perspective, we always fight the battle. How do we make certain we communicate effectively, and how do we remove some of the miscommunications from the schools to our community so they know how to be involved? Anything that you see or can share on that perspective?
Well, I know that from the school perspective, we use a variety of ways to try to communicate with parents, and a lot of it is through email, through the Remind app, through Facebook and other social media.
Right.
We like to do a lot of Facebook Live type events, because I think the reality is we're on the go all the time, and so, but most of us have our phones with us all the time. So we really try to communicate through a variety of methods. Of course, we still do a paper newsletter, and we are elementary, so we use the Tuesday folders.
There we
but
go.
I think just trying to do it from multiple paper, email, Facebook, Remind app. So then that way we're making sure that we're reaching everyone.
Sure.
And sometimes they're hearing it 2 and 3 times, but we want to make sure that they hear it and hear it accurately so that they can be involved in our school.
Absolutely. Good. Very good point talking about start with the teachers. Our teachers are in the trenches every single day. They're working with our learners. They're working tremendously hard. And, we understand there's going to be some miscommunication, but we want to make sure that we get accurate information out all the time, and schools are doing a great job with those other avenues. One thing we talk about is social media. Social media oftentimes leads and leaks to different stories. So I just encourage all viewers out there, if you see something on Facebook, know that it's there may be a little bit of truth to it, not all the truth, and to reach out to our schools, because we'll be able to help them with, address any issues they may have, or talk about, greater ways to be involved in the process. Thank you both for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Great feedback for our community. We only get stronger if we do it from a holistic standpoint. So thank you for your supports to our schools. Thank you for leading one of our great schools in our school district. So again, thank you for being here. We hope that you will take advantage of everything that we do with Community Connections, so that you'll really have a better understanding of what we're trying to accomplish as a school district to become the #1 school district in the state of Florida. Some new initiatives you may want to be aware of. We have the Clay Connection, which is a new newsletter from the district that gives you a lot of events and strategies or accomplishments that we are putting in place or we have put forth, so that you can really stay connected to what we're trying to move forward through in Clay County District Schools. Upcoming for the 2019 year, we look to launch a Parent Academy. More information for that to come. That's where we'll take a lot of ways to better educate our community, our parents, and our caregivers about what we're trying to accomplish from a curriculum standpoint, how we focus on mental health, how we focus on safety, how do we look at additional educational avenues. We'll do a lot of topics that may be attractive to you. So look for 2019 for that to come in place. As we look for next month in December, we'll take a different approach. First month was bullying prevention. This month was family engagement. Next month, we're going to do healthy holidays. So we'll bring to you maybe a number of holiday treats in order for you to have some best practices for the holidays in order to kick off a great time that we'll spend with family, friends, and loved ones. Thank you for being involved in this process in Clay County. Again, I'm Addison Davis. I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.